Hi, I'm Stacy.
And I'm Christy.
Hey friends, welcome back to Art After Dark. In today's episode, we're diving into something that every single artist I know has felt at one point or another: imposter syndrome. You know those moments when you look at your work and you think, who am I to be doing this? Or someone else could do this better. Yeah, that. We're talking about what it looks like, why it hits artists so hard, and the small mindset shifts and creative practices that help us move through it with more compassion and less comparison. If you've been feeling a bit wobbly in your confidence lately, you're in good company, and this episode is absolutely for you. Let's get into it.
Imposter syndrome. That's our
This
topic.
this topic, I feel, I don't know what the word is. I don't want to say dread. That seems extreme.
Hmm.
But I feel like I don't want to talk
Let's
about
go with
it.
resistance.
Yeah,
No?
that's definitely there. I have a lot of resistance around this topic because it makes me feel yucky. Like, how would you define imposter syndrome?
Gosh, I'm sure there's much
To put
better
you on
ways
the
to define
spot.
this, but I'll give it a go.
Give it a go.
So
Just go with your gut.
I think of imposter syndrome as, this is just for me. At its core, it comes from not believing in myself. Is really for me, where it comes from. And it also comes up when I'm too busy looking around. And then I start to not believe in what I'm working on, or I don't feel like I'm as good as someone else, or I feel like this should be better. I should be doing this. I should have gotten this far in my career at this point. But for me, it definitely is like this inner feeling that I put on myself. Nobody is like saying to me, you're not good enough. It's all internal, all these feelings.
Yeah.
I don't know. That is not a very
That was beautiful.
great definition, but that is how I feel about it.
That was beautiful. I think I feel all of those things. I think definitely it's something we put on ourselves and happens a lot when you're looking around. I think it also comes from when you do accomplish something, you minimize it or you come up with like, oh, well, I only got that interview because somebody did some, whatever it is. You just sort of like
Yes.
minimize what you've actually accomplished. You downplay it because you don't feel like you deserve it or that you're worth it or that your work isn't good enough, which can also translate into then I am not good enough. You're
Yeah,
terrible.
that's a very important like facet to the whole thing that I did not talk about. I think I am very guilty of minimizing things and just be like, "Oh, it was just luck. I don't know
Yeah.
how that happened."
Yeah.
But I do know how it happened. It was
Yeah.
a shit ton of work. But yeah.
I don't even know where to go from here because I know that I struggle with this a lot. I I get very discouraged. It makes me feel discouraged. It comes from looking too much at other people
Mhm.
because just open up your Instagram and you're like, oh, well, I don't need to paint that picture of Paris because she already did it. And I know I can't do it. I can't even come close to how well she did it.
Yeah.
Or it's just, it can be very deceiving. I know I've said that word many times. It can prevent you from putting yourself out there, from showing up as yourself. Like you have to be a certain way to be. There's a lot of fear I find around it. I feel fear. Yeah, I don't like it.
No,
I really don't like it.
I don't like it.
And as like a perfectionist, it also, maybe it's just the perfectionism is its own thing, but that also plays into this imposter syndrome because I feel like I can't, whatever I do isn't going to be good enough.
Yeah.
And then anything I do is a result of some, like you're saying, luck or accident or someone else's influence that's not necessarily my doing. I noticed that one thing because of my background working with artists, like in galleries and museums and contemporary artists, I found myself saying, I'm an artist with a lowercase a. not a
Oh,
capital
yeah.
A, right? Because these
Yes.
people with galleries and like the artists that I work for, these are capital A artists. And what I do is just, I just dabble. I'm like art with a lowercase a. And I told
Yeah.
that to the artist that I work for, and he was like, don't ever say that. Don't ever say that. What you do is important. Like the art that you make is important. Don't minimize it. And I was like, you're right. It's really hard though. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. I have said that same thing working in a museum environment where, or even like a lot of the people that I work with are artists themselves. And so, and they do stuff in galleries similarly. And I'm just like, oh no, I just make art for products. Like I make commercial art. Yeah. I tend to say I make commercial art or art for products. And I should stop saying
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It can really hold you back if you are not aware of it, or if you are aware of it and you still kind of don't really know how to deal with it. And I think this is the part that could be most helpful for our audience. However, I don't know what the solution is because it's something that's real and I really do struggle with it. And part of it is like there's a book called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. I read that book, but I probably should because it is about this idea of you're going to be afraid, but you need to do it. And the more you expose yourself to these things, the easier they become, you know?
Mhm.
I really struggle with it. So I don't know that I necessarily have advice on how to get through it.
Mhm.
I don't know if you have. I feel like a really
Um,
bad podcaster right now. I have no tips for you.
hey, sometimes all people really need is to know that they're not alone.
You're not
And
alone.
we are here for that. I think, okay, so if I had to give tips, the first one, and I've had to do this recently, and we've already talked about this recently, but it is to limit your time on social media.
Totally.
And yeah, I think for me, that has become like the number one thing that I have to do is just, I have my they're not timers, whatever your
The
iPhone
limit.
sets up for you. The limits,
Yeah.
yes. I have the limit set up, but for the longest time, I would hit the limit. I'd be like 15 more minutes, 15 more minutes, 15 more minutes. No. Now I decided when it hits the limit, I'm done. I'm totally cut off. Um, I like cut myself off. And
I
so,
blow right through it. I'm like, ignore limit for today. Thank you very much. Ignore.
and I've definitely had times in my life where I fall into that category where I'm just like, this thing is just kind of a joke between me and my phone, and I just
Yeah.
ignore it every day.
Yeah. How can it already have been 15 minutes?
Yeah, that's the crazy part. Um, but yeah, if you just try it for a week and see how you feel.
I think that's an excellent tip. I will
Yeah.
commit to not blowing through the limit for the next week. I can do
Yeah.
it.
And like you could even, because everybody uses social media at different amounts of time, right? But your phone, for better or worse, tracks that for you. And so look to see how much time you've been spending on average. And don't go from like say you're spending 3 hours a day on social media. And there's no judgment here from about
No,
that.
no, no. God,
But
no.
don't say now I'm going to spend 1 hour
Right.
because that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Just say now I'm going to spend 2.5 hours.
Mhm.
And next week it's two. And, get to the place where it's where you want it to be, but don't you know,
Cold turkey.
don't cold turkey it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea because I do feel like it comes up the most when I'm on Instagram, and Pinterest a little bit because I mean
Yeah.
Pinterest, yeah, actually just both of them. I mean, I know Pinterest isn't social media, and I know that as artists we tend to look at Pinterest a lot for ideas and inspiration. but that can also be a slippery slope into feeling like your work isn't good enough, or, you're like undervaluing what you're doing. Definitely less time looking around and more time looking down at like what you're doing. That's an excellent tip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you like recognize when imposter syndrome is like creeping in, or is it kind of something that you're just like, oh, it's here?
I don't know that I recognize the creep. I feel like there's no creep. It's either there or I'm not thinking about
Mm.
it. So it
Mm-hmm.
comes up when I had an Etsy shop and I was trying to promote products. It came up
Mm-hmm.
a lot because I was like,
Oh
why
yeah.
is someone going to want to buy this stupid notebook? Literally, that's what I would say to myself in my head. Why would someone want to buy this stupid notebook? Why would someone want to buy this stupid sticker? Like, and I would try to promote it on Instagram and get like 12 likes. And then I'd be like, well, this doesn't work. Forget it. Like, my work's not good enough. Of course, I knew that anyway. And as I'm sort of thinking about dipping my toe back into products again, like print on demand, um, it's really coming up a lot because I'm like,
Mm.
why would someone want to buy one more fucking thing? And why would they want to buy it from me? I don't have the confidence to be like, look at this great thing. You should buy it. Or like, wouldn't you love to give this as a gift to your friend who loves stationery? Like, I cannot do that. I feel like a joke. I feel like a joke.
A gag.
And so it's like it goes, if I ever have to do any kind of marketing, I'm out. Can't do it, which is super ironic as someone who has a degree in marketing. Can't do it. I can help you with your marketing. No problem. I cannot do it for myself because I don't feel like I'm worth it. I don't feel like my work is good enough. It's like a real problem.
That, yeah, that's interesting. Do you feel like you need the proof? Like you need, like with my Etsy store, when I like this year when I put my calendar up for sale, I had lots of people, not lots, I had several people purchase the calendar, but I knew them all. And I was like, those sales don't count. So
Yeah.
the day that I got a sale from a real rando, like the person I really don't know, I don't recognize the name, I don't know anybody who lives in that city, that is a bona fide real rando. That was the day that I was like, oh, somebody wants to buy it.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you have
But
those
see,
kinds of
there,
feelings?
yes, but also by saying that those sales don't count, I think that that's minimizing, which is
Totally.
part of this imposter syndrome. I get it though. There is in your mind, there's a difference between your dad buying your product versus someone from Rhode Island,
Hmm.
Florida, anywhere that you don't know purchasing your product. And when I had my Etsy shop and those sales did come through, I was like, okay, this is like, okay, like this is really exciting.
Hmm.
And I think we all want, I mean, I'm not saying everyone is like a people pleaser, and this isn't necessarily people pleasing, but you want to feel accepted. Trying to promote your art or product and people purchase it, that is a form of acceptance. They're like,
Totally.
I see you, I accept you, and I'm buying this thing from you because I want to give it to someone or I want it for myself.
Hmm.
And I really just struggle with promoting myself to even get to that
Hmm.
point. It's
Yeah,
almost like
same.
a chicken or the egg, like which comes first. I'm not really sure. They go together.
Yeah.
Um, it's really hard. I feel like you have to just keep doing the thing,
Yeah.
keep
I
going.
I feel like that you have a sticker that says keep going. I have it in
I
one of my
know.
notebooks.
I know.
Um,
I had it on my water bottle. I finally had to throw my water bottle out.
I think that's the hardest part about the whole art business thing, right? It's really hard to keep going. It's really hard to, you're not sure that all this investment that you're making, whether it's time or your own money or whatever, your supplies, I don't know. It's hard to imagine. it's going to work out, especially when you're going through periods when it's not.
Yeah.
Right. And it's hard to find, I guess it's hard to build up that kind of endurance to keep going when,
Like resilience.
yeah, yeah. A friend of mine, this is a total aside, but a friend of mine has been going through this course on resiliency. And one of the things that she had to do for this class was she set, I think, 4 goals that she needed to do during the whole class. And one of them was she kept a gratitude journal. And one of them was she, exercised so many times a day. And one of them was she reached out to community however many times a week. And the change in her, because she asked if I would like check in on her during this course. And I was like, yeah, sure. And so the difference in her, this was like one, undergrad class she was taking like in the evenings for fun, right? But it changed her life like in a very positive way in what is like a semester, like 3 or 4 months or something.
Yeah.
And so I kind of watched her and was like, maybe I need to read more about resiliency and think about things that I can do in my own life, that will help me to move forward on, my goals.
Mhm.
And maybe it is something as little as when you get a sale in your Etsy store, you write a note of gratitude, or you even like to make it easy. If you're trying to like show up on social media, all you have to do is say, Stacy from Santa Monica, thanks for your order. It's thanking that person, but also it's showing that you believe in your own business by saying you had a sale. And it's not like you're boasting about you had a sale. It's just saying somebody wanted the thing I made. And like, that's really cool.
Yeah. And like celebrating that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think too, as much as, not spending too much time on social media to the point where it's negatively impacting you, the flip side of that can be in these moments where you feel discouraged or like you're not good enough. I think it's helpful to see other creatives who are doing what you're doing and like it is possible. I have to tell all the time because I feel like
Same.
I'm getting nowhere in my business. I know I watch too much Housewives. Okay, let's just establish that. Okay, it's a problem. And if I cut some of my time watching Housewives, I would have more time for my business. This is a choice and I recognize it.
Yeah.
But to see other people having success, and I know they work really hard for it. Obviously, Instagram is showing you the highlights. They don't show you all the tears, like things that go on
Yeah.
behind the scenes. But it can be an inspiration as well. So, like in those moments, feeling really discouraged, like I'm not going to be successful or my work isn't good enough. I really believe, and this is probably a cliche, but like the world is big. We feel like it's small because our algorithms are feeding us the same shit all the time. So we feel like our world's big. It is a huge world. And what you're making, there is literally an audience for it. And
Mm-hmm.
if you, and I'm not telling you, I'm saying this as much for myself. If you show up and just keep being yourself, your people will be there for you.
Yeah.
And it may not happen in this rocket time period that we all wish it would, but also we're trying to do this in the margins. This is not our full-time job. So it's like you only have so much capacity,
Yeah.
to get things done. So
Definitely.
just a little reminder to myself and if anyone needs that. And Coco. I mean, I feel like this is obviously we're just like scratching the surface here. I feel like this is a really big topic, but why do you think it's important to talk about imposter syndrome, like in terms of the creative community that we're part of and for people who may be listening? Why do you think it's important to talk about it?
I think for me, the number one thing is it's that community aspect, right? It's knowing that you're not alone. That, I mean, I'm sure there are artists out there who like rarely feel this feeling. And if you're one of those artists, please tell me more. But I think that not that we're all like going to wallow in our imposter syndrome together, but that we all have these moments of ebb and flow, right? Where sometimes we're feeling like really strong, really self-assured in our work, in our business, in what we're doing, and then something will happen and we start going on the down.
Yeah.
And we're not all doing that, making those moves in unison. And so, when somebody is in the low, there is somebody else out there who can like help, like buoy you up and feel like you can keep going. Or who can say to you, I'm in the same place. Do you want to be an accountability partner? Do you want to meet up on Zoom once a week and we can just kind of talk about how we're feeling about this? I really love that Coco's getting in on the conversation.
So sorry, I'm not laughing at what you're saying. I'm trying to keep a
I know.
straight face. And please
I
don't
just
edit
looked
this
up and it
out.
was like Coco.
Do not edit this out.
No, Coco's like, I want to be part of this. Aw. Yeah, I just think it's so important to talk about and to be open. And I have to say, I know we've said to like use Instagram sparingly or, in ways that like, you put boundaries around it or you use it to like help inspire you. There are so many artists when they post about these feelings, look at the number of comments on that post. You are not alone. And
Yeah.
it was so brave for that person to create that post. And it was so impactful to the artist community. So I think that just knowing that you're not alone is just an incredibly important part and like
Yeah.
why we should all just be willing to talk about where we are with our business, but mentally and how we feel about our work. And we're all going to go through those ebbs and flows. And if we don't talk about them, then it's kind of a disservice to everybody else, right? Like we can all learn from each other. And so if we're willing to share those feelings, and you can do it in a way you don't have to, everybody does not have to put that on social media.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There are other ways.
Yeah.
You can just talk to an artist friend, or you can talk to your partner, or you can talk to somebody who, is just a friend. But I think being willing to have the conversations is really, really important.
Yeah. I totally agree. I think the idea of, sharing what you're going through in this type of community so that people know they're not alone and that it's not forever. It's not permanent, that these feelings, this imposter syndrome, it may be in the back seat all the time. And sometimes it jumps to the front seat, but it's not something that you're going to be living in forever. Like you're
Yeah.
saying, like it ebbs and flows, and other artists in the community will be at different stages of that cycle and can help you. And also, further along in their careers with more hindsight, they have like wisdom that they can say, like, this this is totally normal. Also, I feel like totally normal to feel and
Mhm.
experience. I think the
Yeah.
trick is not letting it stop you. And that's where I struggle. I mean, I'm very upfront about that. Like it definitely holds me back. And I think it's the reason why the goals I'm making for the next year are the exact same ones I made 2 years ago, because I am not feeling like I'm good enough to keep going. And it's really it's a real thing. So it's good to have these types of
Mhm.
conversations to know that you're not alone and it's not forever.
Absolutely.
We can do it.
Yes, we can do it. And we need to do it together, right? Everybody needs to do it
Yeah.
together.
So if you are listening or watching this, we would love to hear from you and your experience with imposter syndrome. Or maybe you're a unicorn and you have never experienced imposter syndrome. I would love to hear about that as well. But we are here for each
What's
other.
that like?
Oh, what's that like? Details, please. Notes, hot takes. Give it to us. Yeah, we would love to hear from you. Let's like support each other and help each other, through these times.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Whew.
Until
Imposter
next
syndrome.
time.
Check.
Thanks so much for listening to Art After Dark. If you connected with today's episode, we'd love for you to subscribe and share it with a friend who's on their own creative quest. And if you want to follow along with our work, you'll find all the links in the show notes. Until next time, keep creating, and we'll see you after dark. I really wish there was some vodka in this, but it's fine. It's fine. It's early. It's 12:30.
It's a bit early.
It's a bit early.
No judgment, though.
Woo! That'd be a whole other podcast.
Can you hear this like crazy dog barking?
I hear something. It sounds more like a child.
This dog has
It's
the
fine.
weirdest bark. It cracks me up. Anyway,
Which dog is it?
it's our neighbor's dog. I've never even
okay.
seen this dog. It's hilarious.
Oh.
I think it's some kind of little like wiener dog or something.
Oh.
But it's got a
Watch it be
hilarious
like a
bark.
big giant bulldog or something that has just like a
No, it's definitely
tiny
little.
yap.
I see its paws.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
No, it's okay. Keep it in.